stay shining like the lights on the street in the night. Revis take me shopping when I'm up in New York. Hit the shoe store, go and cop a few more. You at the mall getting dinner at the food court. I'm in LA eating 22 course. Young boss, bitch, paper in my pockets. I got a closet filled with shoe boxes. Mom said my spending habit a little bit obnoxious, but a pilot stay fresh up in his cockpit. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now buy some clothes, wear them out. Hit the club, bitches pull their cameras out. Living in a dream, they beginning to believe. My hotel smell like cigarettes and weed. Shit, with what I'm spitting, they should give me a degree. Good liquor, what I'm sipping isn't cheap. Finna blow, don't snooze, don't sleep. All I really need is some shoes on my feet.
And the Nikes on my feet keep my cipher complete. Nikes. And the Nikes on my feet keep my cipher complete.
I make them so mad, they got no swag. Pippins on my feet, they the throwbacks. Look, my money good, but these hoes bad, so they stay attached to my gonads. Waking up to a few L's. Open up my closet to that new shoe smell. I guess I'm doing well. Smoking all the weed that I used to sell, but once my album goes in the shelves, it's going next. Tell how it's finna sell. For now, we're selling tapes out my shoebox. Any spot, just set up my shop. You're mad that your girl always says that I'm hot. She buy my t-shirts, but she's spending your guap. Say what up if you see me around. Nike Air separate my feet from the ground. It's
And the
just
Nikes on my feet keep my cipher complete. And the Nikes on my feet keep my cipher complete.
my regrets look just like texts I shouldn't send. And I got neighbors, they're more like strangers. We could be friends. I just need a way out of my head. I'll do anything for a way out of my head. In my own way, this feel like living some alternate reality. And I was drowning, but now I'm swimming through stressful waters to relieve. Yeah, all the things I do to spend a little time in hell. And what I won't tell you, I'll probably never even tell myself. Don't you know that sunshine don't feel right when you're inside all day? I wish it was nice out, but it looked like rain. Gray skies are drifting, not living forever.
Boys, how are we doing? Good morning, everyone. Let me know if the audio sounds good. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. Today's a pretty big day. We don't really have a whole bunch of sports on. I believe we've got some WNBA games. We've got like a pretty small MLB slate. But the U.S. play tonight versus Belgium. And that's going to be a big game, obviously, to move us into the round. Or we're in the round of 16. It'll be to move us on into the quarterfinals. So that's tonight, I believe, at 8 o'clock. Probably the biggest game that we have today. Yeah, we've only got 8 MLB games. So we're going to try to find some value here. I'm going to try to craft some slips. We're going to look at prize picks, underdog, better. We're going to look at Novig. And then if there's any other boosts or promos that you guys know of that I may not go over, just let me know in the comment section or in the chat. And we'll take a look at them. Okay. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look at some prize pick stuff. Let's see what we've got over here. I'm going to take out these combo props like I usually do. How'd everyone's weekend go? What happened with Upside? I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I just want you guys to know that everything's fine. Like everything, there's no bad blood or anything. Things just didn't work out. So I'm back with OddsJam. That's what we're going to be using for the streams, at least for the time being, if for as long as I know. So yeah, nothing crazy happened or anything. But we're going to be using OddsJam. So if you guys do have questions about how to use the tool, or if you guys want to see like what filters I use, I can obviously pull those up for you guys. And if you guys do want to go check out OddsJam, you guys can get a free trial using code Trident, as you guys see at the bottom right of the screen. Okay, so let's take a look at some Prize Picks plays. Prize Picks has not had a whole bunch of value recently, unfortunately, but we're gonna try to craft up something here, see if we can get something in. I have to pull up Prize Picks on my phone, unfortunately, but what's up, boys? I see y'all in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over this first one, this Conor McGregor under total rounds. This is a prop that I may take as we get closer to the fight. But you guys can see here that the main data point that is influencing this is going to be Bovada, with this at 3.5 with a whole bunch of juice on the under. This isn't a prop that I feel comfortable taking just yet, so I'm going to skip over it. What we can do, we don't even have enough props to really build out a full 6-man. I'm going to go over to the low hold tool to see if we have any like really good data points over on Novig and Profit X. Kind of see if we can use those sharper exchange markets to influence a good slip here. Better's been awesome for me. Honestly, Better has, I've had a whole bunch of like 2 out of 3s. 3-mans have been kind of like my bread and butter now. Really been using data points off of Novig and Profit X to help influence like that 55% win rate. So two out of 3 has been brutal over on Better, but I've had a lot of 6Xs come through. Underdog is unfortunate just because, you know, I'm limited to $75 a day over there. So I can only get in 3 slips a day. I just play them at $25 a piece. So Underdog variance hasn't been crazy at all, but you know, they've definitely cracked down on the value that they allow on their platform. So all right, let's take a look at this Novig. I want to pull up the Novig data point here for this. Okay, so we've got huge width right here on this Embolo over 0.5 shots on target. Minus 170 over on Novig, plus 117 on the under. I don't really like seeing that much of like width between these two. There's probably not a lot of liquidity being played on this prop just yet, and this isn't even until tomorrow. So let's see, Poly Market, we've got people taking this Nerfy at minus 131. Okay, and then minus 115 on Novig. Yeah, Prize Picks doesn't have a whole bunch of value at the moment, so I would probably take this Ronaldo Lopez under 4.5 strikeouts in a 3-man, but other than that, I don't want to force a play here. Summer League games, yeah. So with the Summer League stuff, I haven't seen a whole bunch of value with it. I think the main tactic really with Summer League is going to be kind of just like comparing lines between Prize Picks and Underdog and Better. So we can take a look at that and see if there's just line discrepancies. But for example, like here on Prize Picks, does Prize Picks not have the Summer League up? I thought they would. Yeah, they've got Summer League lines up. There's just no value on it, I guess. Like for example, if we go over here, Summer League for Underdog, like Darren Peterson here, the only reason why this is at the top of the board is because Prize Picks has his line at 19.5 instead of 20.5. So it's really just playing line discrepancies. And you guys can see that the rest of these lines are all mirrored the exact same between Prize Picks and Underdog. So Summer League's a little tricky, just because you're not going to have a ton of books putting up player prop lines. So that's one thing to keep in mind whenever y'all are playing that. Let's take a look at some other plays here over on Underdog. I'm going to pull up that low hold tool again. I think honestly the best platform for me so far, at least in the last few months, has been Novig. Novig's been unreal. Whether it's player props or whether it is you know, just main markets, Novig is extremely good. All right, I think we're gonna go take this prop over on Underdog. We're gonna run a 2-man here with this. So Courtney Williams under 17.5 points We got people over on Novig taking this at minus 125 on the under. We're getting it at minus 115. And remember, we're looking at that price just because on sportsbooks, you have VIG or Juice that is worked into their price points. However, on Novig, because it is a peer-to-peer exchange market, you don't have VIG, so you don't really have to account for it. Now, with that being said, I do like to make sure that there's not a huge width between both sides of the play. But we do have people who are going to be having to take this at minus 125 on Novig. So I like this. I'm going to add this to our slip here. Probably just going to try and find a pair for this and play it as a 2-man. Yeah, we're going to run this for sure. So this is for tennis. I don't even know how you pronounce this. Is it Jiri Lehecka? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. This is going to be for tennis, okay? This is versus Zverev. This is today in like 2 hours. Under 14.5 aces on Underdog is going to be a great play here. You guys can see that OddsJam has this almost at 59% for the percentage chance that hits. Let me drop the link for you guys in the chat, by the way, over on YouTube and Twitch. But the reason why we're taking that is you guys can see that if we are comparing lines here with FanDuel and Parlay Play, we've got 2 data points here at 12.5. So that's a pretty nice little line discrepancy here over on Underdog. So I'm going to run that as a two-man 3.5x. You guys can just toss a half unit on it. It looks like Courtney Williams got bumped, or the multiplier changed or something. I'm trying to see that in the background. Let me know if you guys need a replacement. If you guys need a replacement, I can give you one. It's going to be a esports prop. Okay, they changed both of them. So they just changed Jiri to 13.5. I don't know how many people got that in. They just changed him to 13.5, which honestly is still a good play just because there is that line discrepancy still. See, now it's just bumped down to here. It's not going to be as good of a play. We could end up running a little 2-man here with some esports if you guys want. Both of these plays are going to take place tomorrow morning, though. I know there's a few of you guys in chat who like to just play things the day of instead of playing things early. I will say, I think Better has been extremely good. Better is, in terms of like DFS platforms, Pick6 is good, but we really haven't had a whole bunch of value on Pick6. Better has been incredible. Better is what's been taking up the majority of my slips, honestly. So I'm sure we'll see some more value as we get closer to the baseball games today. But I mean, the first game is not even going to be until, I guess we have a 2 o'clock game, and then the rest of the slate's at night. And then for WNBA, we've got 3 games. Yeah, we've got a pretty light day today, I will say. Pretty light day. We've got a really good MLB slate tomorrow, though. I mean, we have the USA game, but then at 3 o'clock, we have that other really good World Cup game between Spain and Portugal. So that'll be interesting. We'll try to find some plays for that over on Novig or potentially ProfitX or maybe Polymarket. So we'll take a look at that for sure. All right, so on Better, we do have this prop here for Willie Castro under 0.5 runs. We've got a couple of profit boosts over here as well. So we've got a 25% profit boost. And then I think I also just selected opt-in for the 50x long shot parlay or whatever boost. So, all right, MLB, we're going to go over to the Rockies game tonight versus the Dodgers. We're going to go to runs, and then Willie Castro, we're going to take the under, all right? So we're going to try to build out a little 3-pick here. I'm going to go back over to that low hold tool to see what we have. Better picks, of course. I was going to use this real quick. Just check this out. See if we have anything on Better. Okay, so we have stuff down here. Minus 118 to take on Better. We're looking for minus 122 just because we're trying to throw this into a 3-pick. Minus 136 on FanDuel. That's not going to get us there. Minus 117 on Novig. Yeah, I probably would not take this. Minus 126 on Kalshi. What about Veronica Burton? Minus 130 on Novig on this under. Minus 138 on FanDuel. I'd be willing to take this prop. Minus 133 on ProfitX. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we're going to take the Willie Castro under 0.5 runs as leg number 1. Then we're going to go over to WNBA for this Golden State game versus Washington. We're going to take the under 5.5 assists for Veronica Burton. And then for our last prop, let's see what we want to take here. There's that Lopez prop that I liked from earlier. I think this is going to be what we toss in. Yeah, minus 127 over on Novig. Minus 137 on Kalshi. Minus 1. Yeah, we're going to do this. Okay. So we're going to go over to the Atlanta game, and we're going to take the under 4.5 strikeouts for Lopez. All right. So if you guys want, you can use your boost on this. That's what I'm going to do. So our positive EV percentage is going to be nuts here just because of what we're getting. We're getting a 7.25x payout on a 3-pick. I don't know why I can't. Can I screenshot this? Hello? There we go. All right, let me drop the link for you guys in the chat. Everyone cool with that? It's a little 3-pick. It's going to pay out 6x on better. If you guys have the boost, I would use it on it. For those of you guys who maybe don't want to use your boost on just a 3-leg, you can save it. It's totally fine. You're still going to get a positive EV parlay. But using that boost is going to increase that by a lot. I'm curious what would happen if I do this. If I go... I don't know. Make sure everyone gets that in. Let me know if you guys need a replacement for that. I don't know if I'll be able to find a replacement, but especially if you are using the boost, I'll have a replacement. Because remember, if you are using a boost and essentially decreasing the threshold that you need to be profitable on that play, then there's going to be more options for you. Can I make a better slip? I just did. It's better right there on the right side of the screen. So first leg, Willie Castro under 0.5 runs, Veronica Burton under 5.5 assists, and then Reynaldo Lopez under 4.5 strikeouts. I'm going to post this one over to Twitter real quick. Make sure you guys get this in. This is a really good play. I actually really like the data points that we were seeing here. So make sure you guys get that in. Can I do Dabble? Yeah, we'll take a look at Dabble after this. Yeah, we're going to take a look at Dabble. Make sure I drop this in here. Boom. All right, so Willie Castro under 0.5 runs. We've got Veronica Burton under 5.5 assists. And then Reynaldo Lopez under 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. Do I hit more on better or prize picks? So in terms of just volume, I'm going to be hitting more on better, okay? So the reason why I say that is not just because of value. I mean, it is because of value. Better has more value on their platform. They allow for more value. Therefore, I can make more slips and then hit more. Okay, some of these props you might not be able to find on Prize Picks right now, even though the payouts would be the same. You know, so a 3-pick on Prize Picks is going to pay out 6x, but they might not have all 3 of these props. So that's kind of one of the main reasons of why, like I always say, you guys should have optimizers where you can just find plays, easily locate where the value is, because remember, at the end of the day, it is a continuous battle of us versus the books, right? Us versus these apps, because they are also trying to remove the value as we are trying to get the value in. Okay, so make sure you guys get that in. A little 3-pick power. Let's go take a look at Dabble, and then we're going to look at some main markets. Okay, so Dabble looks like they have this Willie Castro prop up as well, and remember, Dabble's payouts are going to be a little bit different. Okay, so you guys can tell that by our percentage chance to hit over here. We're going to be looking for our 5-man non-insured, minus 121. A little bit better than that minus 122. This 5-man non-insured is going to be the best play type available on Dabble. Remember, you're looking for the lowest implied odds when you're looking at all the different slip types. Okay, so if I go over to the low hold tool to see what data points we're getting here for 5 picks, this looks to be a good play. Flau'jae Johnson over 11.5 points. Minus 122. We could toss that in a 3-pick. Definitely good for a 5-pick parlay. I'd also be down to take this
prop for Awa Fam. Okay. We have a line discrepancy here with FanDuel. Remember, FanDuel is kind of the main go-to data point for me when it comes to player props in terms of the main sports books. Castro got bumped. Let me see. Let me find you guys something real quick for better. Are the other two still here? Can you guys let me know? Are the other two still there? Burton and Lopez? Let me know if those are still here. If those are still on the board, then let me see. Plus 113. Jeez. Yeah, okay. They're both on the board. I would sub with... Yeah, I would go with Gaussman. So take Kevin Gaussman under 5.5 strikeouts. That would probably be the next best one. And I would say that if Castro's not on the board for you, please use your boost if you are subbing Castro for Gaussman. Because Castro was honestly the best prop here out of these three in terms of just direct comparison to the major sports books. So if Castro's not there, I would take Gaussman under 5.5 strikeouts, and I would definitely use your boost. Okay? Got it? Cool. Awesome. Yeah, there's that Gaussman prop. So, looks like Kalshi's over that minus 122. Novig, not quite. Neither is Prophet X. But that's fine. If you're using the boost there, then that's definitely still a good play. All right. Let's go over at Dabble real quick. There's a couple of props there that I liked. We may be able to run a 3-pick here. We're definitely going to run this this Flau'jae Johnson prop. So this is going to be on the Storm versus Sparks game, which is tonight at 10. Johnson over 11.5 points. Okay. So over 11.5 points for Flau'jae Johnson. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Courtney Williams under 17.5 points is what we already ran over on Underdog. Devers, yeah, these price points are a little bit too far for me. So let's go back over here. Dabble, minus 150. I really hate seeing Fliff as a data point here, but I just can't ignore the fact that both of these are over minus 150. So we're going to go run Trent Grisham for under 0.5 runs. And then, let's see, that's 56.29. That's definitely going to be over minus 122 for the implied odds. So we have a little bit of wiggle room here, and we may be able to take that Blaze Jordan prop. So Trent Grisham under 0.5 runs. Let's take a look. Yeah, minus 144 here on DraftKings. We're going to run this. So Blaze Jordan under 0.5 singles. This is going to be in the Brewers game versus the Cardinals. All right, under 0.5 singles. And remember, you guys can go follow me over on Dabble. And I think whenever I play something, I think it gets posted. Or at least I think it's easier to tail that way. But we are going to run this as a 3-pick. Okay, so I went ahead and locked those 3 in. I'm going to get the link posted in the chat. And guys, remember, if you are not on any of these apps that we're going over, whether that's Dabble, whether that's Better, whether it's Underdog, you guys can sign up using code Trident, and you will get some sort of deposit bonus or free play whenever you sign up. Okay. Okay, 6x over on Dabble. All right. And my username over there is just Trident DFS. Okay. So just sent the link out in the chat over on YouTube and Twitch. So we're playing a 3-man here. You guys can see. Boom. All right. So Trent Grisham under 0.5 runs. Blaze Jordan under 0.5 singles. And then Flau'jae Johnson over 11.5 points. Okay. Everyone get that in? We good? Can we move on to the next thing? we've got some crazy value here on Hard Rock, potentially. Minus 148, plus 122. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can run this. I'm going to log in. Kaboli. Clutch. All right, let me go see. I know a lot of you guys might not have Hard Rock, so I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this. They're going to limit me to, yeah, 17 bucks. Awesome. So if you guys do have Hard Rock, you guys can take this play with me. Plus 150. Holmgren versus Schoolgate over 10.5 first set games at plus 150. Plus 122 over on Pinnacle. It's kind of like my main data point that I have here in terms of devigging for these main markets. But I've got several different filters set up. Okay. So I've got main markets, player props, DFS, some home run / strikeouts, devigging to Circa. So if you guys are on OddsJam and you want me to go over my filters, I'm definitely, down to do that if you guys want them. I know a lot of people kind of just like to copy other people's filters if they are seeing success. I don't think that running just the basic filters, the normal OddsJam default settings are a bad thing by any means. I think that that's totally fine. You can definitely make money doing that. I just have a way of doing things where I like to devig to certain books based off of the markets. So for example, like for home runs and strikeouts, if I'm doing those two specifically, Circa is like the best option in my opinion for devigging. When it comes to DFS apps and player props, I like to devig to FanDuel, and I also like to take into account those exchange markets. And then if we're talking about main lines, I like to look at Pinnacle. I'll take into account Circa as well, but that's just kind of what I do. That's kind of how I operate. So let me go ahead and filter this. I do want to see if we have any like tennis that's starting soon that we may be able to get something in together. Like for example, this prop under 21.5 games for Thomas Farrell versus Jeremy Kim under 21.5 total games plus 100. Okay, take that. You guys can see down here, Pinnacle has it at minus 113. Now, one thing I will say with tennis specifically, you're going to end up seeing a lot of tennis lines where Pinnacle is not taking a ton of action because they are very niche. They're small matches, right? So, for example, like the one that I just took, or even this one right here, you can see that Pinnacle's limits that they're taking are shown here, which is important because if I click on somebody else, like here's a great one, for example, Arthur Ferry, 10K on either side is being taken over on Pinnacle, right? That's going to help us because that is going to tell us that there is money that's going to be coming in on these markets, which is going to create sharper lines, right? That's why we trust Pinnacle. If I come to another game that might be smaller, for example, this one, Juan Sebastian Gomez, you're going to see that Pinnacle is only taking $525 on bets, right? So that matters because that tells me, okay, maybe Pinnacle does not have the sharpest line available. So then I can go down and look for things like Novig or look for, other exchange markets where we're going to see more liquidity come in because there's no cap, right? Because it's peer-to-peer. Would I take Grisham under 1.5 RBIs? I'm not sure where you see that line. You'd have to tell me what platform and what price, because it depends. All right, let me take a prop here. So for example, I want to take this Arthur Ferry prop just because we have very, very high liquidity coming in, or at least can come in to make Pinnacle very sharp here with this at plus 102. We're getting this at plus 103 on Novig, so I'm going to go take this. You guys can see that there's only $122 of liquidity available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the calculator to see how much I should be putting on it, which is down here, which obviously I cannot because there's not enough liquidity. So I'm going to put that plus 113 here, and I'm going to essentially make a market with the amount that I want to put on it. So it'll partially fill, and you guys will see what I'm talking about, right? So it just showed us that there was $122 available on that. We filled it at that price, and then the remaining of the 150 that I tried to put on it is going to just be top of book at that same price. And if you guys have not tuned into streams before on Novig, when it says top of book, that essentially means that, you know, when you are taking the plus 113 line here, you're offering minus 113 on the other side. So whoever Ferry is, he's facing Dimitrov, right? So the other side of that is now being offered at minus 113, which means that that is the best price available on Novig. Top of book, meaning that if somebody else wants to go take Dimitrov minus 3.5 for the game spread, your price is now at the very top, the best price available. So it's more likely to fill. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Better. They don't have the one you used on the other app. Let me go take a look. You said Better has Grisham under 1.5 RBIs. I can't imagine that's not like a bonus, right? Or like a discounted prop. Not a discounted prop. What am I trying to say? Not full value. They don't have the one you used. Better? Are you talking about like Better Sportsbook? I'm confused. I'm not seeing under 1.5 RBIs. Are you talking about hits, runs, and RBIs? Yeah, guys, Novig is literally my favorite app right now. If I were to show you guys my Pickett graph for Novig, it's ridiculous. Okay, so you're talking about hits, runs, and RBIs. Let me take a look. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go down here. Grisham. Yeah, I would not take that. So you guys can see here, the best price that you'll see is either going to be on Fliff or Parlay Play. Minus 132 on DraftKings. Favored, but not to the point where we need it. The only reason that I would take a prop like this is if like Novig and ProfitX, if I go look and they're both, you know, at minus 125 on like the under, for people to take that over there. But what this is essentially telling you is that, hey, if you're taking this at minus 118, which is in a 5-pick flex, you can get a better price elsewhere, right? Like you could go over to BetMGM. I know that a lot of people's excuse then is, well, I don't have access to BetMGM, but that's not the point. You can get a better price elsewhere. So I would not take that over on Better. Yeah, I would stay away from that. Anyways, what I was saying about Novig is that this is by far my favorite app right now. If you guys are not already signed up, you guys can get on with code Trident. Okay, TRIDENT. Let's go down here. We're going to take a look at this Juan Sebastian Gomez prop. Plus 300 on the money line, plus 243 over on Pinnacle. I'm okay with taking this prop. There are other times where you'll see Pinnacle's only taking like 125 bucks. So then it's not really the best data point. But here at plus 300, we're still getting the best odds in the market. Hard Rock's going to have a lot of really, really soft lines, specifically with tennis. They have soft lines in general, but you guys can see that I'm limited to a certain amount there on that. But so I'm taking this. If you guys do have Hard Rock, take it with me. And just to give you guys an idea as well, whenever you see these numbers next to the price points, that's telling me how much is the recommended bet size based off of what I have set for my, you know, the Kelly calculator and all that stuff, the Kelly multiplier. Rule of thumb here, if you guys see 200, that is essentially 1 unit for me. Okay, so if you're trying to compare how much you should be putting on a specific play, and I go and put, you know, 390 on a play like this, which we'll definitely take a look at here in a second, then this is essentially a 2-unit play. Okay. Drop more links for Novig. Does Novig have links, or am I stupid? Like, I don't know if I don't think they have links. I guess they might. This is a pretty good prop right now over on Underdog. I'm going to toss this in real quick. So we're going to do the under 23.5 games for Liam Brody versus Alexander Vukic, under 23.5 games played. It's a pretty good prop here. Minus 115 if we play this in a 2-pick. You guys can see those other lines there. Minus 135 over on Pinnacle. Yeah, we're getting a good price on this. Minus 115, best price in the market. Let's see. We need a pair.
I think I see where we're going with this one.
Ooh, look at this Michael Harris prop. We're going to use this Michael Harris under 1.5 bases today versus the Mets. We might have to go find him. The only thing they have available for cash flow and better is now under singles. Should I take it? No, don't take that. All right, we're not going to have an underdog play. They took the tennis play off. Remember, the biggest thing to understand here, Timothy, this is for you specifically, and I don't know how much experience you have with positive EV or with sports betting in general. When we take props, right? For example, the Castro prop that I just took for under 0.5 runs. I'm not taking that because I think Castro will go under 0.5 runs or because I think he will perform poorly today, which is what I assume is what you are asking, because you're like, oh, if he took under 0.5 runs, then maybe if that prop isn't available, I should just substitute it with another Castro prop under hits, runs, and RBIs, total bases, because he thinks that Castro is going to perform poorly today. That's not at all what I'm saying. What positive EV or positive expected value betting is all about is saying this is the layout, right, on a DFS platform where you have 3 picks or 5 picks, and you need a certain win percentage on individual props in order for you to be profitable long term. So all we are doing is comparing lines, and the little numbers that you see here, right? These numbers are the percentage or the chance that that prop hits. So if you ever wonder, like, well, that seems pretty easy, right? Well, yeah, but for a prop like this that we calculate at almost a 55% hit rate, that's really good over on Underdog in 2-man parlays, because that's above the threshold needed to be profitable. But that prop is still losing 45% of the time. Okay, so that's why parlays are always so, like, you know, they're very, there's variance that comes with it. Okay, so I would not take the Castro prop. If you can't get that play in, I would just move on. Get ready for the next one. There's not a whole bunch of value right now on Better. Like I said, we have a kind of a smaller slate today, so we're kind of just scraping some value off the top right now since we're early. So we're going to take a look at some of these other plays just over on the positive EV tool. We'll look at sharp money as well. Like, for example, we can go over here to Bet 105. We're going to go snag this play. So we're going to take the under 156.5. It's at minus 115. This is essentially a 1-unit play over on Bet 105. If you're not familiar with Bet 105, it is pretty much a replica of Pinnacle. They pretty much run the same exact odds. So for those of you guys who may wonder how you can find value doing that, because we do use Pinnacle as a main data point for main lines, this is just sharp money. So this is taking money that's coming in over on Novig or ProfitX, those exchange markets, and telling us where to play them, okay? Here's another good prop. Looks like we got some sharp money coming in. This is for the Spain game today. We can try to build out a sleeper play here. Lamine Yamal to score, plus 120 or plus 196 is what it essentially converts to. Should be at, the multiplier is going to be at 2.96. All right. So we don't have another sharp play here. We're going to take a look at positive EV to see if we have any sleeper. Sleeper is known for their lack of value, but with that sharp money play, we should be able to get something in here. We don't have any promos over there, unfortunately. Oh, someone just asked if there's any value on sleeper. Yes, there is. Minus 118, minus 132. Ugh, this is ugly. We're going to take this, though. We're getting a better price than FanDuel here on this, so we're going to take this. This is going to be our pair for it. So we're going to go over to tennis. This is that Arthur Ferry game that starts in like 30 minutes. We're going to take his over aces at 6.5. Multiplier is going to be at 1.85x. Okay. So Lamine Yamal to score over 0.5 goals, and then Ferry over 6.5 aces. I'm going to drop the link for you guys in chat. And that should pay out 5.47x, by the way. I would just put a half unit on it. Nothing crazy. I don't know why my dog's barking. Bro. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear my dog out there? That's what we're going to run, though, over on Sleeper. So if you guys need to see the image. Boom. All right. Barry, over 6.5 aces. Then we got Lamine Yamal, over 0.5 goals. Cool. Are we good? We're good there on Sleeper. Again, by the way, you guys can see the bottom right of the screen. Sleeper, you guys can use code Trident when you sign up. You'll get up to $100 in deposit match, which is really nice. Sleeper runs a ton of promos that you guys can take advantage of. And I will say, just for those of you guys who have been enjoying the World Cup, Sleeper actually has had some really good value for the soccer props. So make sure you guys get that in. Remember, we just took that from the Sharp Money tool there. Let's go over to Positive EV. We're going to check out some more props here. I saw one that I wanted to take, and I can't remember where it was at. We're going to go ahead and filter this by percentage. Okay, so here's another one that I could take here. Minus 115. I like to hold off on the player props if it's too early. Like, this game isn't until 8 o'clock tonight, so lines could definitely change. Sharp Money, I view a little bit different, right? So here's one thing. This is kind of like my thinking behind player props, right? If you're early in the day, there's always the debate between like beating the closing line value by securing value early, or waiting as close as you can to that closing line and then secure value and make sure that you have a really, really good chance to beat the closing line value. For me, with player props, early in the day, there is so much uncertainty, whether it's about who will play, what the lineups are, rotation minutes, whatever, if it's basketball. There's a lot of things that are not taken into account. So with that said, with player props, I typically will hold off until a few hours before the game, and then in that window I focus on player props. The only reason that I would really take a player prop super early is either, number one, if we have like 5% plus EV or higher on it, and we have really good value compared to a ton of different books, or if it's a Sharp Money play. So if the Sharp Money tool is telling me that, hey, there's a certain prop that a lot of money is coming in on, then somebody knows something and they're putting a lot of money on it, because even though it's early and even though they may not know lineups, they may not know who's playing, they have some information that is telling them to put a lot of money on a specific prop. So that's something that I would tail. But for example, props like you see here with these WNBA players, I'm not going to take these props just yet. This could be a really good prop here. Plus 134 on the Nerfy and the Rockies-Dodgers game over on Kalshi. We're going to go take this. If you guys are not already on Kalshi, once again, you guys can use code Trident. We're going to go take this. Best price available right now on the market, plus 134 for the Nerfy. That is no runs scored in the first inning for the Dodgers-Rockies game. I'm going to take that. I've got 330 on it, so in other words, about a unit and a half. We're taking this at plus 134 over on Kalshi. Okay, so no runs to be scored in the first inning. Rockies and Dodgers tonight. That's at 10 o'clock, so that's in about 12 hours. If you guys want to go ahead and tail that over on Kalshi with me, there's a decent bit of liquidity available there. So I don't think Kalshi has links. I thought you went upside. Yeah, I'm back with OddsJam now. It's all good. No bad blood or anything. Just things just didn't work out. Just business stuff. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes that I'm super excited to show you guys. I know some of you guys won't care about it at all, but I feel like summer is kind of the best time to be making improvements with the business. So that's kind of what I've been doing behind the scenes. I know a lot of you guys probably have noticed that I have not had a whole bunch of activeness on Twitter as much as I usually do. So that's why a lot of my free time is being taken up doing stuff behind the scenes. So that stuff should be announced pretty soon, which is pretty cool. I'll let you guys know, obviously. But we should be back to our normal streaming schedule. So Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if that will change. I kind of like doing the morning streams. They aren't as nice whenever we have, these smaller slates. But What I will say is that I do enjoy the morning streams, so you guys can let me know if you guys enjoy them as well. But Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. And then I should be posting YouTube videos on a weekly basis, which if you guys have not seen, I do have a few videos I've posted within the last month or so that you guys can definitely check out, especially if you are fairly new to sports betting or positive EV just in general. Those videos are going to be extremely helpful for you. So we're going to take a look at some of these other props here. I'm seeing more player props. Here's one that I want to take. So this is the Storm versus the Sparks. All right, so this is going to be another no vig prop. We're getting this at plus 115. This is going to be over on Pinnacle at minus 101. So plus 115 is by far the best price available right now. This is for a main market, obviously. Plus 117. Ooh, we can get this at an even better price now. Okay, let's see what we can get this at. This is for the under 173.5. Where did it go? Where did it go? Am I blind? I refreshed the page. The line's at plus 117 right now. Here it is. We want to put how much on it? We want to put 315. So a unit and a half here. So I'm going to eat up that liquidity, but also try to play some more. Any soccer money lines? Yes, we're going to take a look at soccer for sure. Soccer, I've been waiting a little bit closer to game time as well. If you guys don't know how soccer really works, it is very common for these teams to essentially not post their lineups until like an hour before the game starts, the match starts. So that's something to consider, because with World Cup, you know, you don't want to be placing bets on somebody who's not even going to end up playing. So we're going to take a look at some money lines here. I will say, if you guys are not already backing the United States tonight, definitely back the United States. Okay. This is over on the prediction insider traders tool. This is a 97 confidence score for the United States to win. This is in regulation over on Polymarket at 39 cents. I already got in on this. Trader ROI, this is the person who took this prop, has 4% ROI long term. This is 10% or 10 times more than they usually put on your normal bets. Okay. Both teams have score. This is a decent prop here. 97% score here, or the confidence score on this, is going to be really good. So I went ahead and took this. This is the United States three-way money line over on Polymarket. Okay. I think that comes out to like plus 163. So you guys can take. But as far as the Spain game right now, I do not have anything on the Spain game. You can take a look though, for sure. Why Golden State versus Mystics over 156.5? What did I take that prop on? Was that at 105? I took the under 156.5, which I can actually share. I don't know if you guys care to see a link like that, but that's over on Bet 105. If you're asking why, it's because there's a good value on it. This one I'm not taking, just because if you guys can tell, it's like an arbitrage right here. So like the under minus 156, we got it minus 115. You could take the over at plus 115. So definitely a coin toss prop, considering what I'm looking at on these lines. Looks like the under is slightly favored. This could change throughout the day. This isn't until 7:30 tonight. So if you did not get the Bet 105 one in for the under, take the over at plus 115. Great value. Let's go take this. Astros and Nationals under 9.5 runs. Plus 111. Putting a unit on this play here at plus 111. You're going to eat up most of the liquidity on this. So if you guys do want to make a market, it should be top of book still. Plus 111, we're taking this at 1 unit. A little bit over, it's like 1.1 units. Plus 111 on that. Make sure you guys also go try to snag that over on Novig. Make a market. Some of these props, you'll notice, it'll tell you how much liquidity is available. So like, for example, the Valkyries here at minus 6.5. There's only $90 of liquidity, but a prop like this with the links, minus 13.5, you got $3 grand of liquidity. And remember, those main markets are going to see more liquidity than the player props. So don't be shy when it comes to, I just showed you guys with the tools here over on OddsJam. If there's not enough liquidity for you, so like for example, you'll notice that there's $180 of liquidity and $180 is the recommended wager. Well, that might not be the recommended wager. It just is all that you can eat up. So if you come here to the calculator, it'll tell you how much that you should be wagering. So what I've been doing is essentially going over to Novig on a prop like this and making a market at plus 111 and then putting this amount. So that way it eats up the liquidity, and then also there's more liquidity available on that other side, right? Because you're making that market. Let's also go ride with the Cardinals money line. Let's go take this. Plus 108 right now. Best odds, obviously, because Novig is goated. We're putting a unit on this at plus 108. Cardinals money line, plus 108. What do we have here? Brazil. What FIBA qualifiers are going on? When does that like actually start? When does like the FIBA tournament start? Isn't that soon? FIBA start. Oh geez, that's way late in the year. Oh wait, that's women's. When does the Am I stupid? When is like the main tournament? That's not what's going on right now, right? Because it's just qualifiers. Somebody help me out with this. FIBA World Cup. Qualifying windows for each region. Okay. FIBA 2027. Is it every 2 years? Is that what I'm missing? Is the FIBA tournament every 2 years? Because we had it last year, right? There's no way it's every 4 years. What? You're telling me the last time we had the FIBA World Cup was in 2023? That doesn't even sound right. I thought we had it like last year. It just shows my lack of knowledge with these basketball leagues. All right, what else do we want to take here? What else do we want to take? Padres money line. No thanks. What other promos are there that you guys know of? Are there any promos that we need to take advantage of? Pick 6. Nothing. That's a good prop too. Sonia, under 23.5 PRA. I like to use the low hold tool for the pick 6. Yeah, there's that Johnson prop. Plus 115 though. Yeah. Nothing crazy. So I was looking at Brazil World Cup qualifiers. So like, see how like Pinnacle is taking $50 on this? Not a prop that I'm taking. Yankees first half money line. Minus 102. Best odds of plus 105 though. I'm gonna skip over that. I feel like we've got a good amount of plays in right now, at least for like what's kind of like available for us at the moment. Not seeing a whole bunch of value over on Prize Picks, Underdog, Better. We got some plays in, but not a ton. That Altuve prop I keep seeing. This Altuve prop's not bad. We just are not going to have a full slip. Caleb McBride under... Yeah, I don't like that. What else you guys want to see? I can go back over to Dabble, maybe. See if we have anything over there. What about Onyx? Do we have anything on Onyx right now? Onyx doesn't have anything either. Yeah, there's really not a lot on the board right now. There's player props I'm looking at on Novig, but like, it's just early. I don't want to be taking them. What about this? Let's go take this on ProfitX. Plus 110 for the game spread on Linda Neskova. Is this Wimbledon, I assume? With that much as a... Yeah, plus 112. Let's go take this. Versus Madison Keys. So is that plus 112? It's plus 110 because of ProfitX's like fee or whatever. They're like 2% on player prop markets. So it's at plus 110 essentially. Put a unit on that. Make a market. That starts in like 10 minutes. So Linda Neskova plus 1.5 on the game spread versus Madison Keys. I might honestly just sit on this tool this morning and just like try and snag some more, some tennis value. Because we've got Wimbledon going on. We've got a whole bunch. I mean, there's always tennis going on. Literally always. How confident am I in my better 3 pick? I don't know. Just as confident as the next slip. It's good value. There's not confidence, like to me personally, and this isn't even really a debate, but confidence does not have a place in profitable sports betting. It's just the truth, right? Because like I can sit here and say, yeah, my 3 pick is good, but I'm not confident in it because I think it's going to hit. I'm confident in it because based off of the data points that we had for Castro, for Burton, for Lopez, those data points indicate that these props have a higher percentage chance of hitting than what is required long-term to be profitable on better. That's all it is. So there's no confidence as far as like, yeah, I think Castro just doesn't get a hit today and therefore he's not going to score a run. Or I really don't think that Burton's going to pass the ball a lot. Therefore, I don't think that she's going to go over assists. Or I really don't think that the Mets are going to be striking out that much to Lopez today. So therefore, he's going to go under strikeouts. None of that. You realize how quick I put that slips together, right? It took me less than a minute because all I'm doing is I'm just looking at these lines. And I understand for somebody who's like brand new to this, you just see a whole bunch of numbers. You don't know what you're looking at because you got percentages, you've got odds, you've got dollar signs. Like it's a lot. It's very overwhelming. So that's why I kind of try and use these streams as an opportunity to answer questions like that, because a lot of this is just needing to break down what you're looking at, right? What is all the numbers that are on the screen? So I kind of answered your question without answering it, but confidence doesn't matter when it comes to profitability. And I think that the confidence kind of stems from everybody wanting to tail plays, you know, where it's like, you know, how confident are you in this? Because I want to put money on it as well. But you're never going to be profitable if you're just consistently worried about how confident other people are. I'm getting notifications that some of our markets have filled over on Novig, which is good. So some of those ones that I ended up making markets for are filling. Yeah, so the Seattle game under this tennis prop that is starting in the next hour. Yeah. Cool. All right, boys, we got like 5 minutes left on stream. Is there anything else I need to take a look at? We really don't have a whole bunch of value at the moment. I'm literally just sitting here with this, hoping that we have some more tennis pop up possibly, but it's not looking likely. If you guys have any more questions, though, I can try and answer them. Minus 300. Bro, I'm not trying to take a minus 300 prop. I'm curious, how much would they let me get down on this? Kundum versus Lima? I can get down to full 450 on this. It's nice to win a 150. I might run that, honestly. Kalshi has this at minus 404. I don't like taking these heavy favorites just because it's tennis, and also it's like you're wagering a lot of money to win back very little. That's all. Minus 300 is best price in the market by a good margin, though. A lot of these are minus 400 or more. I'm going to take it. Why not? If that loses, I'm going to be very upset, but hopefully it's just a free 150. DraftKings, we took a look at Pick 6. There's really nothing on Pick 6 at the moment, if that's what you're referring to. DraftKings, there's also not a whole bunch. I do have DraftKings available as in my filters, just because DraftKings and Onyx run the same odds. Nothing crazy there, at least for today. Yeah, I've actually, so part of what I'm going to be doing, I don't know if you listen to this part of the stream as far as what I'm working on behind the scenes, but I am going to start posting those, my Novig, ProfitX, all of the exchange market stuff. The main reason why I kind of have held back on doing that is just, it really is a liquidity thing. So like if, for example, right, like if I say, hey, this, Golden State minus 6.5 is a good prop, at plus 111, I'm going to go try to eat the liquidity and also make a market, but that doesn't mean that there's going to be a liquidity available at that price point for the other people in the Discord. That's the big thing. So I'm trying to figure out a way if I should just post them and just say like, hey, go take this, or make a market at this price point, or if I should just stick to the props like this one, right, where it's, hey, over 156.5, go take this, because I know there's lots of liquidity for people to take. What I'm very curious to hear what you think would be the best solution to that, because that's the main thing. I don't have to worry about liquidity when it comes to Better or Prize Picks or Underdog. It's just with these exchange markets. Do I do this full time? Yes, I do. I'm going to go take this prop. Minus 105 here on sportsbetting.ag. This is under 168.5 for the Czech Republic versus Estonia game. This is also going to be FIBA qualifiers, but I believe I'm looking at Pinnacle is taking a good chunk of change here, taking $1,000 on these props, and they've got it minus 130 right now. So I'm going to take that. That's in about an hour. Some of these websites I don't have promo codes for you guys to use, unfortunately, but you guys can definitely sign up with them. These are going to be like offshore books. This one specifically, sportsbetting.ag, has a lot of value, I will say. Post them. I will. I guess I can post them, and then if you guys just want to make a market, that's fine. We can roll with that. If that's what you guys want, then that's cool with me. I'll post them. I just know that inevitably I'm going to have people in the Discord, or people are going to hit me up DMs. They're going to be like, dude, you keep posting Novig plays and I can't get them in. The prices keep changing on me. I'm like, well, it's kind of how it works, how the platform works. It's just peer-to-peer. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for the stream today. We got in some good plays. We got some WNBA. We've got some MLB. If I have a play for the Spain game, I'll probably end up posting it to Twitter, just so you guys know. So if you guys are not already following me over on Twitter, you can do so at Trident_DFS. Make sure you guys go check out the YouTube channel if you're not already watching on YouTube. Got some really good educational, informational videos. I'll be live again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you guys want to tune in here on Twitter, on YouTube, or over on Twitch. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys do like the tools that we use today, this is OddsJam. You guys can sign up with code Trident and get yourself a nice little free trial. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So good luck on your plays today. And go USA. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
I wasn't even tripping, I said it's alright. Yeah. Goddamn, we was hit last night. Wouldn't you rather get along? Wouldn't you rather get along? You was coughing when you hit my weed. But I've never seen you feel that free. You're so cute, you wanna be like me. Wouldn't you rather